Good morning to all of you. It's a very special moment for all of us gathered here personally in the premises of Sainikpuri Post Office as we initiate a landmark program from this podium today. This will be the beginning of so many more such facilities which shall come up in post offices, not just in this region, not just in Hyderabad city, and all the metros across the country, in the mandal level sub post offices also, so that we as an organization, public organization, continue to do what we have been doing all along. The post office, as all of us know, is everywhere. In fact, it is, Rajeev mentioned Jesnatu, it is one of the biggest network in the world is India Post. We have about 6 lakh plus doorstep persons, delivery persons, which even Deutsche Post and or US Post do not have. And to touch every village and every home every day has been our mandate, our special task entrusted as we are a public organization. This has been this special USP of this organization, of post office in India. In fact, though Swiggy and the other Zomato, etc., are operating on a different model, the original delivery man who used to come to every door was the postman. So the entire planning has been scaled to at a very further down to reach people within a certain radius of maybe 5 kilometers within a certain span of time. So that's, whether you call it scaling down or going deeper, and micro level they have planned it. So what the network plan which has been put in place for India Post is an interesting study. Only when you actually enter into the organization, you realize that there is so much of technicality involved in the entire thing. You can't run this kind of a network which includes about 6 lakh points every day. Delivery points I'm talking about. Every day. There are intermediary legs. Delivery points every day smoothly. You can't keep, there is no firefighting or checking anything at any level. It just happens. Every day it happens. Whether it is rain, it is sunshine, whether it is monsoon, whether the small rivulet has overflowed, it moves. So it has its own interesting stories to tell. The dark bungalows and the old stories in the movies and the ghost stories, and then you had the jungle stories, all revolving around the mail carrier. Very often these are the people who are the only contact with the outside world those days. And still it is the same, because as a person who has worked in the organization for more than 25 years now, I realized that there is no other organization which can actually deliver the way this unit delivers. For example, during COVID, we were able to push medicines down to the home levels in the village, push money down, because money was something which they desperately needed in their hand in the villages. So we were able to reach out through, of course there was a lot of technology innovation, but that the value of it I could really see, because In a town like Kurnool, ladies were walking in the sun, where sunshine is, I think that was March, April, May. And they were all walking just to get to the ATM and try to get a little bit of money. It was that bad. And we saw even worse things like the migrants moving, but then the queues in the ATMs were so long, and it was so desperate they had to get that and get their rations. So at that point, we had what is called the India Post Payments Bank, which helped them to get their money out in their village through the Aadhaar-based biometric enabled payments. So they just had to go, and if it's a syndicate bank, they had to withdraw 100 rupees. They could go to their post office, which is in the village, and then get their biometric authentication and get a withdrawal of 200 or 500 rupees, whatever it was. The cash which moved was also a big story. It all went behind the screens. In spite of the lockdown, cash moved down the line. The banks were struggling, but banks still limit their network only till the mandal levels. So we are like 1:11 in the rural areas. That is the scale of the post office network which we have in the rural areas. So this actually opens your eyes to realize, because if you are in the city, post office is outside the memory. For us, it was still there because we used to get our call letters and our, we used to do our registered speed post for our applications and all that. We did visit the post office, but these days there's no need to visit the post office. The younger generation finds it, maybe it's not anachronistic, but then they need to. Post office has been trying to reinvent itself in such a fashion to cater to requirements across cross sections. And that even for young students, when they needed money, we had these camps. And one of the major services which post office today offers at the counter level, apart from the major parcel and the delivery parcel delivery which we have actually scaled up because of e-commerce, the counters we have provided access for Aadhaar services, Aadhaar enrollment and updation. So this has been, and then we also opened up the post office counter for POPS case, that is the Passport Seva Kendras. So Passport Seva Kendra was a revolution in itself, because to get a passport we had to enter some high security zone, in those days. Apart from that, we have now, because of parcel delivery, we have also started motorized delivery of parcels in the city. So in that context, I wanted to see if we can go for smaller vehicles, especially to negotiate these small lanes. So there we thought we would need some kind of EV, because that would be helping us in our fuel consumption, lowering our fuel consumption also. So as we have been expanding the vehicles also, the fleet strength is, I think at present, around 70, 80, 150, 200 vehicles. Only exclusively 70 is the actual one, but then we also operate another 120 vehicles, 40? Yeah, so 120 vehicles covering the entire city. So that is the reason we wanted Rajeev to actually help us, because it is like the nursery level input, because what we read is just once in a while something comes in from here and there, very fragmented information. So I took the opportunity that since Rajeev was here, I thought let him tell all of us. That's how we got to know each other and then had this interaction with him. It has been very useful for us, and I do hope that this organization will continue to work together. We as an organization would continue to work together and do in fact we wanted a little more. We wanted a little more because Jidimetla we have a very good post office on the Bombay highway. So we wanted to have some more points, but then starting government is even more shaky when it comes to putting the first step forward. So we thought let us start with this one and the OU campus. OU campus also the students would, I think it would be helpful for the students. So these 2 points we would have given. The intention for putting up that small kiosk is to make sure that it stands out on its own and doesn't really have to, even though, see, once we open up, this will become a parking lot. So that is one thing I had to be cautious about. We wouldn't mind helping people, but then government land is, once it's taken over, it's taken over. So I didn't want that kind of a risk for the department. So that's the reason we put up that kiosk. And we do hope that would be a model, or maybe if there is something to be improvised, we'll see if it can look better.
We'll also set up a fast charging station now for 4-wheelers.
Okay, so that is, so whatever he can provide, I think he's doing it for the sake, and I think both of us are doing it more for the sake of, the electric vehicle itself, and not for maybe the post office or or his company, and trying to put it on the increase the network of such filling stations, because I do remember how exactly do you operate a vehicle. Will you come every day and charge it in the night, and then you forget, and then morning it doesn't start. You slept off and then it didn't start. Your vehicle wouldn't start. So I was just thinking how it would be working out. So I think that was 4 years ago. So I think we've come a long way. And I do hope that these things, this model works. Because with government, it's the model that is important. How we actually put the framework of, your MOU is very important. And we need to tighten it as we go forward, so that any loose end could make it difficult for both.
Yes.
So that is the reason I want that part to be. So maybe this was for 6 months. Yeah, we'll put it in place for 6 months.
Yes,
and then try to work on the legalities of the MOU, and then put it all, try and tighten it as we go, because I think nothing can be hard and fast. But then we'll go for some vetting. We have got it done. So we've got, we'll try to make it legally more compact before we can go forward on a larger scale. This is the plan of action. So in any case, I congratulate the entire team of ThunderPlus, and almost all are young people.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to work with young people. And in fact, I also used to enjoy as a postmaster general. We are very distant from the lower level, especially the branch postmasters. That is the village postmasters. They were all young people. So I used to travel a lot and then try and meet them, and with a lot of hopes they used to come. And then there's a lot of future, not just in my organization, but in any organization, provided you work on your skills. You work on what you must have something going for you. It's not just, this is not just the job. So work on something and try to upgrade keep your skills up all the time. Up all the time. Otherwise you have to be like that. Otherwise at my age, I think you would have already sat down. So you should be ready for another career. I'm thinking maybe I still have another 15 years where I can put in. I'm mentally prepared for that, and I think I've laid my route very clear on that. So like that you keep going. Job is just one part of it. And it feeds you and it takes care of you, it gives you your identity for now. But ultimately you are yourself. Like Wing Commander today, he is here because of what he has been doing probably.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think he has built something over the last 20, 30 years for himself. So I think our jobs actually lend a lot to our own personality and character also. So please take your organization. I wish you well, and you go ahead and do well, but do a job which will last. not just flash in the point and vanish, make money and vanish kind of thing. So build an institution or an organization which stands, which stands. So this is my little talk which Rajeev was asking me to give. Well, so thank you so much.
Thank you very
I
much.
wish you all the best.